Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And I am back for another driving vlog. And I am in this strip mall because I just went and reviewed the Love is Love drink from Starbucks. And I got my confetti cup, which I've been trying to get forever. So I have my confetti cup, Love is Love drink for Pride Month. And then I also have my coffee in my Pride cup. So I'm just proud as they can be, proud as they come. I'm as proud as I can be over here. How are you guys doing? Well, speaking of Pride Month, I thought I would talk a little bit today about LGBTQIA plus issues. So, this may be a little controversial over here today. I'm driving through the Hardee's parking lot now. God, what I wouldn't give for, I'm a vegetarian, what I wouldn't give for their Beyond Meat breakfast sandwich is so good. If you've never had it, you need to try it. Okay, but just get this, like the Beyond Meat sausage biscuit with cheese. It's fantastic, and their hash browns are so good. Basically, Hardee's is Carl's Jr. if you've never had Hardee's. Okay, so anyway, if you don't know what you don't know is a lot, J.K. Rowling, esteemed author of the Harry Potter series, which just a few days ago I said was my goal to finish this summer. I was going to read one book a month. Came out on Twitter and showed her ASS, basically, okay? I do not understand sometimes. You know, we've all said things, right? But, I've been a person in recovery for 25 plus years. 25 and a half years at this point. And there is this, there's two things I have learned that are not really recovery things, but they kind of are, which is number one, restraint of pen and tongue. Like when you're angry or when you are really feeling a certain way about things, that you should probably, reserve it until you want to respond and not be reactionary, if that makes sense, right? Restraint of pen and tongue, until you've kind of thought it through. The other thing is, don't ever hit the send button. Like, if you're really thinking about something, like, write an email. This is like business 101. Like, if you're thinking about writing your supervisor a letter or telling your supervisor you think she's just a crap of the world, maybe draft it and then don't send it till the next day. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, J.K. Rowling came out, I think it was yesterday. I'm almost positive it was. Yesterday or the day before, or late the day before, with this series of tweets about trans women. And the Twitterverse, especially the BookTube Twitterverse, went crazy. And in a nutshell, basically what she said is that she doesn't see trans women as real women, is basically what she was saying. And if I am wrong, please correct me in the comment section below. So, everybody went crazy because why would you make a statement like that? Especially if you're a person that's, so many people look up to and things like, and people had real issues with it. And this is not her first time making kind of statements that are not in favor of the LGBTQIA plus community. And especially, with it being Pride Month and everything going on in the world right now, girl, why did you just shut your mouth? And people were pissed. I mean, people are really pissed because they've looked up to her and they love the Harry Potter books, and now they feel like it's tainted their love, tainted love. Was that the song? Now I've come to what was that song called back in the day? You guys remember that song? Anyway, they feel like it's tainted their love for the Harry Potter books. It's these books that they grew up on loving, that got a lot of them reading and whatever. And it was so funny because I've been wanting to read them, but I don't, like, they're good. Like I said the other day, like, they're good, but they're like, I wouldn't recommend it with somebody if she wasn't that, if they weren't that famous. And it was so funny because this wasn't the only person that tweeted this, but Dylan the Reader, who's very active on Twitter, he posted, they aren't even that good anyway. But, like, now I'm kind of like, do I care if I finish these Harry Potter books? Like, okay, part of me is like this. This is where, in all honesty, part of me is like, I'm halfway through this stupid series that I have dedicated more time to than any other series I've ever read. Like, I just want to finish the series. But the other part of me, which I would say is more like 70 to 80%, is like, I'm not supporting this. Like, I'm not going to continue to read the books when there's a million other books out there that, probably 90% of me feels this way, is that I'm not going to continue to support somebody that feels that way. You know, when there's a million other books out there and authors that I could be reading instead, that are not problematic. And so anyway, I wanted to talk about, that was the first part of this video, I wanted to talk about series, like book series, because I now need to find some series to read. Because I think I'm done with the Harry Potter books. I just don't think, she came out last night, and she made a tweet, and it was like, I'm so very sorry for what I said. And I'm like, and then I think she deleted her tweets. She's basically like a beauty influencer. If y'all know, I do beauty influencer drama. It's the same kind of stuff, you know. They say something that they know that they shouldn't say, and then 2 seconds later, they're retracting their statement and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I don't know. But, so I'm like, I don't know that I care to read these books or see the movies. You know, like, I think I'll be just fine in my life if I just don't ever. You know what I mean? Like, I think other people have survived life without reading the Harry Potter books. I think I'll be just fine too. And I guess, you know, part of my question would be, how do you feel about reading an author that is, you know, like, not supportive of, you know, certain communities and things like that, or make statements like that? How do we feel about that, you know? I guess I have real issue with it. And I think also, there's so many, you know, like, I am a believer that when you have a certain amount of platform, that there's a responsibility that comes with that. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have a right to her opinion. She does. I don't know why she turned around so quickly and apologized for it when she's made very similar statements in the past. It's like, you either feel this way or you don't feel this way. Then why turn around and say 7 hours later, I'm so sorry for what I said? Well, you know, my dad taught me that, my dad hates the word I'm sorry, you know, because when I was using and drinking and all that stuff back in the day, I would say, like, I'm sorry. And he would say to me, and this is why I'm not big on the word I'm sorry. I'm big on, like, taking responsibility and looking at my actions and making amends and things like that, and trying to, you know, change who you are as a person. Because my dad would say to me, saying I'm sorry just means forget what I just did. That's all it says. Just forget what I just did. It doesn't mean anything other than that. And so, like, to come out later and not really with any explanation. I haven't looked on her Twitter today, quite frankly. I'll stop here in a second because I'm going to the post office anyway, and I'll look to see if, you know, she made some comment today. But people are still not having it. They're like, you already made the comments. You know, I don't know. What was she sitting around having a couple glasses of wine and she decided to get lippy and she's got wings on her tongue? I mean, I don't know. Like, when you're in a position like that, maybe you should think through those things. And I do think it's damaging. You know, I think there's so many people. I think there's so many people in all different kinds of populations that have looked up to J.K. Rowling, but I definitely think there's probably a lot of people in the LGBTQIA plus community, especially trans people, that have read the books as a form of escapism. And in fact, I saw a lot of tweets that said the Harry Potter books got me through, like, my teenage years. You know, it helped me escape, and, you know, it was a safe place for me and stuff. And then you realize that the person that created this safe world for you is somebody that's in opposition to who you are as a person. And I just think, like, I have a real issue with that, you know? I don't know. And is it enough just to come out and tweet and say, hey, I'm sorry for what I said? And I don't think it really is. I think, you know, I don't know. What have you learned? Like, what did you learn in 7 hours? You know, let's just be for real. We've all made mistakes in our life. We've all said things that we shouldn't have. We've all made, many of us, I shouldn't say all. I think there are people out there that are very, like, just good human beings from the very get-go. I'm someone, I'll speak for myself, that has had to learn through my life, you know? And I'm a believer that when you fall on your face, you get back up, and you learn from falling on your face. I've had my life changed literally in hours, you know, I walked into the hospital room the last day that my mom was alive, and when I walked out, I feel like I was a changed person. I learned some lessons that night. I learned about the fragility of life. I learned that, you know, you're born, you live, you die, and what you put in the middle of it is yours. I've learned a lot of lessons in a few hours of things that have happened to me. But I have never in my life learned in a few hours by tweeting something out and just sitting and thinking about it for a few hours. No, what I would have thought was, that's stupid and people are pissed off at me. What can I do to fix it real quick? And I think that's what she's trying to do, you know? And, you know, she comes across as real arrogant to me anyway. I mean, I guess maybe there's a little bit of ego and pride that goes along with creating the most fantastic, supposedly, allegedly, conspiracy speculation, fantasy world, you know, that's ever existed. I think people would argue with that. But, you know, to most people, it's probably the most popular fantasy world. And it's like, what were you thinking? So now I'm like at a crossroads and I'm thinking about, I think also, maybe I need to start thinking about really looking at the authors that I'm reading and, you know, are they, I guess, people that we want to support or not? I don't know, you know? And now I'm wanting to read some series. You know, I never finished the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. So I'm thinking, well, I could, you know, dedicate my summer to finishing that series. I just read Cinder. I didn't read the rest. I was talking last night in my vlog about the William Forstchen books, 1 second after. And I wanted to read 1 hour after and the last day, which are the 2 in the series. There are other series that I can read, you know. Harry Potter is not the end all of the world when it comes to book series. And I know people are real disappointed. I think maybe it's an opportunity. You know, whenever I talk to my sponsor, so a sponsor is somebody that, you know, when you're in a 12-step program, is somebody that helps you, like, with issues that you're having or whatever. But whenever I'm going through something, I know I'm in the dark and you guys can't really see me right now, but here, let me see if I can park somewhere different. I don't think it really matters because I'm going to be off this video in just a second. But whenever I am, here, that's a little bit better. I'll just park there for a second. Whenever I'm like going through something, you know, and I talk to my sponsor on the phone and she's like, you know, this is an opportunity for change. This is an opportunity for you to take a look at things in a different way. But no matter what I'm going through, you know, if it's that I, you know, got stuck in traffic and had some road rage, or if something didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to and I had a resentment, because a resentment is an unfulfilled expectation. I know this is really a book video, but it is, I guess. You know, so maybe this is an opportunity for me. I don't even have any huge attachment to Harry Potter or J.K. Rowling, you know? But I think it does open a door in me thinking about, who do I want to read and support? Whose books do I want to support when there are so many people out there that I can support that are, you know, advocates and allies to many different populations? Do I need to continue to support and read and talk about and endorse the books of those people that are problematic? And I think it's a real issue. I think it's a real question, especially, you know, right now in the world. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. And if you have book suggestions for series of books that I should read, please put them in the comment section below. I'm open to anything. I don't care, you know. Western series, psychological thrillers, romance series, young adult series. I'm open to anything. I just want to read a really good series, you know. And I think that I'm probably done. I have to say goodbye to Harry Potter and be like, you know what? I guess I'm never going to find out why Ron ended up marrying Hermione, because I already know. Everybody done ruined it for me anyway. So anyway, J.K. Rowling, see you later. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.